You are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Okay, I don't think I need to give a spoiler alert here, but if anyone listening is a huge Game of Thrones fan and you have not yet watched the season 6 finale, you might want to save this episode of the podcast for later. But I also believe that anyone who is a huge Game of Thrones fan has already seen the season 6 finale. So I feel pretty comfortable sharing this little quote from, oh my gosh, I got so much inspiration from that scene with Littlefinger when he's talking to Sansa. Some of you might already know what I'm talking about. And if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, I think you'll still get inspiration from this. But first I'll tell you what I'm talking about, and then I'll share why I loved it so much. So Sansa, she asks Littlefinger what he wants. And he says, "You know what I want." And she said, "I thought I did, but it turns out I was wrong." And he said, "No, you were right." And then here's what he goes on to say. I've got it word for word. I loved it so much. I played it twice and typed it up. He says to Sansa, "Every time I'm faced with a decision, I close my eyes and see the same picture. Whenever I consider an action, I ask myself, will this action help to make this picture a reality? Pull it out of my mind and into the world? And I only act if the answer is yes. A picture of me on the Iron Throne and you by my side." I love that so much. Not so much that I'm dying to see Littlefinger on the throne with Sansa. Although that is kind of a romantic thing. Although seriously, his romantic target is a little creepy. But honestly, the commitment to the vision, I gotta take my hat off to the guy for how single-mindedly focused he is on creating this outcome. And can you imagine the power of regularly, consistently, like daily? I mean, if he's doing this every time he's getting ready to make a choice or take an action, he stops to pull up the picture of him sitting on the Iron Throne with Sansa by his side. If he's doing that every time he's deciding something, that means he is regularly, consistently connecting with the outcome that he desires. That in itself is powerful. Just to be acclimating that way to the vision of what you want. I mean, getting used to that, familiar with it, like programming yourself for this outcome, that's pretty huge in itself. But then to also take it further and to only be taking actions that he believes supports it. I mean, I don't think that we really have to know how to get where we want, but I mean, if we relied on like that inner guidance to tell us yes or no as we're considering something, does this take me where I want to go or not? If all we did was tune into that guidance and honor that in itself would add extra power to it. So we're connecting to the vision regularly and we're taking actions that we believe support it. That belief is really huge. Abraham has always said the two keys to successful manifesting are strong desire and strong belief. When you've got both of those on your side, you're unstoppable. That's why they always recommend that amp it up. Well, I call it the amp it up process. I don't know what they call it. It's where you write down on a piece of paper what it is that you want. Underneath it, you write down the reasons why you want it. Doesn't matter how many you list. The point is to focus on why you want it. And then on the back side of the page, you write down the reasons why you believe you can have it. That exercise is designed to enhance both your desire and your belief, which makes you a stronger vibrational match to what you want. And so that's part of what he's doing here, just taking actions that he believes are going to take him to this place. I got to say, I found that enormously inspiring. In fact, I started thinking, what would that look like if I practiced that? And I started imagining, okay, what would that look like? And my first thought was, well, which desire would I be practicing? Because I'm manifesting more than just one thing in the world right now. And I realized that's a huge benefit that he has. He's working on one thing, one ultimate vision. You can't go wrong, right? When you've got that kind of a focus in place. Although I will say this, I've seen a lot of people have success when they go work on something else, like they let go of one for a little while, because sometimes our focus has just enough of a charge on it where if we have any desperation or doubt or fear or worry like that, it's not always the cleanest energy to bring to it. And sometimes things come to pass better when we aren't so focused on it. There's a lot of magic in letting go. But if we are just bringing clean energy to it and believing that we're able to bring this thing to life in the world, to just be working on one thing, I could feel the power of that. You know, the analogy everyone always uses is the difference between a flashlight and a laser, right? Like so much more power in the one that's focused. He's definitely got that going for him. So I don't know if you've caught that as well when you were watching. And if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, you can still see how powerful this would be, right? Every time I'm faced with a decision, I close my eyes and see the same picture. Whenever I consider an action, I ask myself, will this action help to make this picture a reality? To pull it out of my mind and into the world? And I only act if the answer is yes. I think if we were practicing that too, we'd have a lot of cool stories to tell. I hope you liked it as much as I did. Thanks for listening and happy manifesting.